What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. In New Orleans Saints news, mandatory minicamp officially got underway on Tuesday. And look, this is the offseason portion where it's of varying importance, right? It's not to say there's nothing that can't be gleaned from this, as we're going to see, but also, maybe take it with a grain of salt in terms of making too many wide sweeping conclusions. For instance, if you had just showed up yesterday, you would have seen that Rashid Shaheed was absent. You're like, oh man, what's going on here? Well, apparently he's injured his groin, but it's nothing serious. He's going to be fine come camp time, which is great. Go ahead. Get this out of the way now. Get right for the year. Kendre Miller, not practicing either right now, Jake. Don't have confirmation on exactly what that is. I'm guessing, again, just some sort of small injury. Other newsy bits from yesterday. Good for Eric McCoy on the offensive line. He's kind of been the only Saints starting offensive lineman that's been available during these OTAs, and he finally had some of the homies back. As Andrews Pete shows up, they had James Hurst back at left tackle, Calvin Throckmorton at right guard, and Ryan Ramczyk back available. That's big news. They're at right tackle. So still not full strength, right? So much of this year depends on what happens with Trevor Penning's foot. Real quick on the Penning foot, Jake. You've had Liz Frank, correct?
Yep.
What, and it's probably different even for you than him given his size. Where is your head at expectation-wise with Penning, knowing he suffered that in, the final game of the year, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
When that went down? Yeah. Whoa, what does that look like timeline-wise?
I mean, I think you're going to have enough time. The problem is with him, you're going to miss practice time. And it's not really here. Like here, and you said it there, it's minicamp.
Give us the NFL vet perspective on minicamp.
You're for a veteran player, you're kind of going through the motions. It is what it is. For the younger players, you're installing. It's not really physical. It's more mental. It's a mental portion of what you're trying to do because you're trying to, get a foundation started. Again, for a vet, like when you're on day 2 install, like Ryan Ramczyk is rolling his eyes right now. He's doodling in his notebook because he knows everything that they're going to say. For a younger player, it is mental. He's going to miss the mental portion of this. And then I have to imagine physically he's going to miss parts of training camp. Mm-hmm. Even if he comes back, he is not going to every single day stack days on top of each other because I just don't think that injury allows you to. And you're right, like it is different. I was 230 pounds. He's 300 plus pounds.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably,
so it's going to be completely different. Now I was doing, shifting more than he was, but it still doesn't matter. Like it's still an injury that it is tough. And I did mine where I had a full off season to be able to go out there. So I was ready for camp. He did his the last game. It's going to be a tough situation for him. But the mental portion of this, the physical portion of practice, that's what makes me nervous as much as the injury because he didn't get a lot of time last year. He was banged up last year as well. It's like eventually, man, you have to have that foundation. You have to build it up, and this is when you build it up. And you can do some things. I'm sure he's out there with a script. I mean, you've been injured, T. Like, you've probably been out there with a script as well. Like, yeah, you're paying attention, but it's not the same being in there. Even if these reps are basically a notch above a walkthrough. Like, you'll go a little bit of tempo, but not a lot.
He still needs that, though, to your point.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he still needs even the physical work. He definitely needs the mental work, but he even still needs those physical reps. It's, funny to hear you say that about minicamp, though, because you're absolutely right, and I could sense that out of other vets when I went through minicamp. But for me, the actual physical portion was hard, not from a conditioning standpoint, right? But really trying to prove yourself and learn how to rep against NFL guys. And obviously Trevor Penning's way, way, way better than me. And so it's not like he's not going to be outclassed in the same way, but he still needs those reps. And unfortunately, in a year which he's going to be relied upon heavily, he's not going to be able to get them.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be in a meeting room, and if you're 4, 5, 6 years in the NFL, it's like, hey, all right, hey, we're going to install a bunch right 20 ISO here. And you're like, oh, my God. like you're looking around the room, like who? And then you got the one, rookie running back that's in there. He's drawing the diagram of what bunch right 20 ISO looks like. So it is different for everyone. And he really hasn't had that opportunity, again, to build his foundation because of last year he was injured. This year he's been injured, and that can be difficult. So the mental portion of this for him, it's highly important. Like for guys, like Andrus Pete, for Hurts, for Ramczyk, it's not that important.
No, they've been.
In fact, like this is more like a get ready conditioning foundation for them. Let me put my helmet on. Let me run around a little bit.
So look, man, let's be clear. If Penning, this ends up all going awry, then outside of Olave, what are you talking about? Let's say 2 first-round picks for Davenport. Let's say a first-round pick for Peyton Turner. That'd be, 4 of the last 5.
Cesar Ruiz was a first-round pick.
Okay.
But they didn't pick up his 5th-year option.
Yeah, they didn't pick up his option. So maybe 5 of the last 6 first rounds that you've had, if you miss on that, that's bad. And it's especially ironic given they've kind of drafted well in other portions of the draft, but that's really, really poor. So they desperately need Penning to work out and be the guy they need him to be this season.
I mean, there's a lot of question marks on the offensive line, like Andrus Pete.
Yeah.
One, can he stay healthy for a full season? Can he, if he's in there, is he worth anything?
Experience.
Right? Can he be anything there? And then Cesar Ruiz played better last year, so it's like, man, what did they see where they didn't pick up his 5th-year option, though? That's what makes you kind of, was he as good as
with teams lately? It's been in the NFL.
That's true. I mean, Josh Jacobs just had his decline. Then now he's signing the franchise tag.
Yeah, I've seen a few guys. Who else was it in Philly? Hargrave? No. I've just read a couple other stories about players who you would just assume. Oh no. And with Washington, like they didn't pick up Chase Young's 5th-year option, but then last year they didn't pick up one of their D-line's 5th-year option. He ends up balling out. Now he got the big deal. So the new NFL meta seems to be, well, let's make these first-rounders prove it in that 5th year before we commit to them. Like,
it used to be, hey, this is why we're going to draft him in the first round because we have the extra year, and he's maybe a second-rounder with a grade around 34, 35. But if we take him at 32, we get an extra year.
Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the 2 guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.